So brief number one, parenting programs to reduce violence against children and women, why it is important. So what you can find inside is really making the case why parenting programs should seek to reduce both violence against children and violence against women. And it's organized around 3 parts. So the evidence of why violence prevention matters for parenting programs, the evidence that we have that parenting programs can reduce violence in the home, and then thirdly, why parenting programs should promote gender equality. And in this first brief, as well as in all the subsequent briefs, it's also supported by recommended resources to help practitioners to further understand the intersections between violence against children and violence against women. So that might be guidance, research, or online courses that you can look to as resources in further understanding this evidence base. So brief 2 really then seeks to unpack what are gender transformative parenting programs that reduce violence? What do they look like? And what insights can that provide for strengthening existing parenting programs that maybe are not taking a gender transformative approach or are not seeking to address both violence against children and violence against women? And it's broken down into 4 parts. So what gender transformative parenting programs to reduce family violence are, their common program principles, their common delivery features and characteristics, as well as their common program content. And like in brief 1, it's supported with recommended resources that you can go to support the design of gender transformative programs, including resources to support the engagement of men as fathers and caregivers. And so that's where brief 3, parenting programs to reduce violence against children and women, how to adapt programs to address both types of violence, comes in. And this brief really is meant to be a very practical guide to support practitioners on how they can integrate IPV prevention and gender equality within existing parenting programs. So it's organized around 5 stages, and each of these stages has a number of key steps with checklists and are also accompanied by recommended don'ts, so things not to do when taking on adaptation. And the 5 stages are gaining organizational and stakeholder buy-in for adaptation, recognizing that we do need to start with ourselves, with our staff and facilitators of programs, and then consulting parents and understanding gender and violence in your context. So understanding what are the common social norms related to violence, understanding the desires and needs that parents in the community feel they have as parents, and then using that to adapt your program. So adapting the recruitment, the content and design of the program so that it can engage both male and female parents and caregivers, can promote reflection on harmful gender norms, and can build the skills that we know are important for addressing the risk factors and the drivers of violence. And then testing and refining your adapted program. So it's important to kind of pilot, to test these changes and understand if they're resonating in your community before rolling the program out. And then the last stage it highlights is training and adequately supporting facilitators to successfully implement, recognizing that really training and supportive supervision is incredibly important to successful and high quality implementation.
These briefs, in addition to supporting us adapt gender transformative parenting programs, can also be used to help adapt other particular or similar programs across the continent that are geared towards strengthening families. So these are quite useful, and I'm sure the VAC, VAL, and gender sectors will immensely benefit from these guided processes that enable people to make their programs strong enough to work at the intersections to address both VAC and VAL.
The success of the Parenting for Respectability has attracted a lot of attention and interest in the program. So it's being scaled up now. But in the process of scaling up, we are doing lots of adaptation, and other agencies are also doing their own adaptation. So we have come across organizations that want to drop what I could call the intervention core. For instance, they want to focus on early childhood alone or caregiving skills alone without spousal relationships. So we've been struggling to promote this and to encourage them to know that there is a link and we need to address them. So now with this resource, I think it's a tool that we are going to, to facilitate mindset change from those who are actually adapting the intervention.
And so as a core member of Global Initiative to Support Parents, Parenting for Lifelong Health and the Global Parenting Initiative is committed to working and walking alongside UNICEF, Equimundo, Prevention Collaborative, Makerere University, Investing in Children in Our Societies, and others to really support that adoption and integration of approaches and strategies that are offered by these amazing briefs, and to learn together on how to improve their effectiveness and scalability.
Click that link. The briefs are up and people are asking whether they can continue sharing them. Yes, you can share them and reach out to us in case you have any other questions.